Hey, how's it going, folks? Now, I did made a video about the family member who's making a bad choices about buying a house in right next to the high voltage. And for me to reflect back the whole thing, I just look at it and just have this flashback moment. And I know, in life we make choices, whether we get on a bad relationship, bad financial advice, or investment, or whatever, because that was your choice to choose what you put in your mouth. It's a choice, and depending on the time of era, all right? And I'm not here to complain or anything like that, but for me, it just gives me a lot of flashback, especially when me and my partner at the beginning stage of our relationship, will play like Monopoly, and then there's this game called, I think, Game of Life, or Life of Game, and you roll the dice and you choose your path, your career path, and how your life gonna be on a board. And I played the Kiyosaki game as well, creating in this mouse game that has like a passive income. And I'm pretty sure all of us watch Kiyosaki or any of those real estate investing. We borrow money from the bank. There's no tax on it, right? But when you borrow money from the bank, there's interest on it. So it's very funny how we look at the whole thing. And I just look at the whole thing and start to reflect on my life and all our lives. We also have some messed up in our lives because of bad choices or good choices. And especially when you hit your 30s, mid-30s, and you start to think of, you want to minimize the risk. You wanted to move forward in life. Like in the blink of an eye, I'm gonna turn 40 years old, and and if I have no savings, whatever. What about retirement? It's scary to know about the whole thing. But today's topic, I want to talk about a choice that you cannot change. Choice that you put yourself into danger. For example, this family member who purchased this house, and I warned them many, many times not to do it because it's going to harm you in the future, in your health as well, because they bought a house, literally they put a deposit last night, and it's based on tomorrow whether the owner will sign an agreement or not. But having that life choice of the high voltage, right next to your house, in 2 houses away, it made me realize that not only just that, but also what I put on my ex-partner, who got onto the shop and is like a distance away. Like, I won't say quite distance, but we got like 16 high voltage on Reservoir. It's on Thomastown. It's like a station, a hub. And I'm just there, I'm like, the whole thing is just like, we make choices, whether it's for money or budget or whatever, but we're making choices like that and not knowing like how much of the harm it can do. When you have radiation like that, the water supply that you're going to drink is going to be radiated. The area you're going to be radiated, it is so close that it's going to diminish what you have, all right? And your health, your wealth. Now I'm started to, I regret for, what I did. But you know what? I said to myself, I need to live longer as much as I can so I can see my daughter to grow. That is my motivation. That's why I had to proceed this separation, or else I'm going to get a heart attack. I'm going to die. I'm unable to see my kids to grow up, right? So for me to see this radiation thing, it hurts me a lot, because it's like a curse that you diminish your future. You got brain tumor, whatever, how it is, right? I'm not going to say anything bad or good, but I'm just there, I'm like, these are the choices we can avoid to make. Like, I'm just there, I'm like, if you're a provider, all right, I know husband and wife or whatever, there's 2 dual income earner. Okay, I understand, 2 breadwinners in the household. But you gotta make good choices, because as we get old, trust me, getting on a pension is not much. Maximum is probably $600 or $800 a fortnight. It's not much. Especially with the cost of living that we have right now, it is not much at all. All right. So God knows what's going to be like later on. But if we don't have a retirement fund, whatever, but it's just, there's so many things we can control. Especially when my partner's family, they idolize instant noodles, like eating so often, and I'm trying to avoid that. I'm trying to find, I'm trying to minimize way to not having microwave as well. If I can find ways to do that, that would be great. I'm not here, I'm perfect. I'm bad as well. I'm guilty. I'm having, fast food joints. It is, but having a radiation is that you cannot move. I can stop eating that, but when you're on a mortgage with a radiation, you're married to the radiation, basically. You can't separate yourself unless one day you want to get rid of the house. That's the only way to do it, but that's a huge life decision making. But I'm just there, I'm like, I've warned them many times not to do the house. But you know what? Sometimes in life, we always choose the bad side. What's the convenient side? What's the easiest side? What's the best look? At the end of the day, I'm not here to tell you what's great, what's bad. But it's just, so much help and input that I put now is diminished all the way through. And I'm just there, I'm like, it's sad. But you know what? I can't help everyone. At least I could try my best. And I start to realize that there's nothing I can do here. When I have nothing to do here, I'm just gonna sit here and look at the whole thing and say to myself, let it be. People evolve, they change, they learn in a different way, and it is what it is. And it just hurts to see what it is. But you know what? It is what it is. How much help you put input. Then you say to yourself, why do you input that much? And it's just frustrating where all that help and everything I did and everything like that, and not only just that area, but there's so much areas I can talk about. But at the end of the day, I'm stubborn as well. But as I get older, I started to realize I have to make choices very, very carefully. I don't have much time left. I can be died tomorrow, just like my friend, But I just want to make sure that, that sort of health thing, it really gets to you. But that's life, I have nothing to say.